Another great thing that I love about this, let me go back to rendering and do advanced so you can see the full beams. Let's just go to initialize for a second here. Okay, is that I can take all of my floods. For example, I have my mega tripart profiles here, right? Let's go ahead and turn them on for a second. So here's a little switch, and the switch allows me to dial colors right away. I love this. I mean, seriously, if I'm doing a wedding, instead of having to sit there and try to pre-program stuff, I can always just choose it right there on the spot, Oh, bouquet and garter, bam, I can just do that. Oh, this is going on, whatever. It's just fun to grab colors last minute, too, and then if I want to, I can save it as a preset. But, I can do that, and, oh, goodness, I want to change my QWHs that way, too, Now, for some reason on mine, I guess when I did my programming, I messed up on my colors on my 3D thing, but there's orange and green there. If I want to switch things, make them all the same color, it's kind of a pain. I'm like, oh crap, okay, there's orange and green there, or I'll go here and I'll select that. Okay, good, I'm set. Now when I go make it to my make a tripart profiles, I want to make it orange too. Well, what you can do is you can go to your fixtures, and you'll see that I have some groups here. The one that says floods, one that says NOs, whichever. I can take all my lights and group them together. Now, in the grouping that says floods, it took all of my flood lights together. So let's go ahead and initialize this for a second, just so we can clear out so you can see it all happen. I go to my master tab. Right now, the master is very empty because I'm doing this. This is a layer. This layer is for, it's going to hold all the main programs and cues for a big event that we have coming up, where I can't really, program on the spot or control them on the spot. They have to be perfectly timed. So I'm just going to go to layers, and I'm going to go to my normal layer. Okay, and check this out. Okay, the lights on the side right here are the mega tripart profiles, and these lights here are the QWH5s. I can basically select all my floods at the same time. And if I wanted to, make it even more special, I can even control the NOs too. Like, for example, since the NOs have color mixing LEDs, I can add my NOs as part of that and quickly just grab them on the spot. I mean, it's really cool how it works together. This means that if you wanted to make, color tabs and have all of your lights change that color or have them all strobe, you can do that if you want to. You'll notice here again my QWH5s. Actually, there's the Mega 24s there. They're just not strobing because I haven't added that part into 3D because I made my own fixture profile for that yet. This is all strobe. This makes every one of the lights strobe. The NOs, the Nova scans, whichever. Floods there, allows me to basically control the flood of individual lights all there in one shot. I mean, it's super cool how it all works, Again, for example, here are my NO beams. And I can just, bam, quickly just grab a color or color effects. There's some, crazy built-in color effects. Hey, if you don't really want to have to program crazy stuff on your show and you just want it to do it automatically for you, all right, there you go. It automatically does it. And these are just pre-made switches. I programmed 0 of this. Of course, you can recall the built-in programs. If you decide, look, I don't really have time to do this, I don't have a technician with me, that's fine, and you can just select one of the built-in macros there. And initialize as you please. So again, that was actually something that I've always thought was, I think it's neat. I'm able to basically just grab shows, create them fly, or create them on the fly. Now, of course, with the MIDI-Con, it becomes 10 times easier to be able to do that. I can go over here, for example, and I have a master dimmer, so I can dim everything on one spot or raise it up. Of course, lasers are not dimmable, so you can have that. You can even black out lights. For example, if you just want to kill your lasers for a second, you can just get rid of it there. Different shows have different things. Like, again, this is just going to be for the wrestling event that I have coming up. But I can go into my favorites tab, and if I'm running everything on one window, there's all my lights there in one window for easy programming, reference, etc. Okay? For example, Royal 3D. All right. Royal Sky. Again, I have not made programs for any of these yet. I've been kind of lazy. This is actually really cool. This is a switch that allows me to grab the lights, well, the UFO or moving heads or whatever, and grab them all in one spot. Huh? Awesome. Okay, but again, you can basically, whenever you arrange your windows, and check how easy it is to grab a window. You just grab it there and you position it wherever you want. So, you know, if your computer can do multiple monitors, my computer rig can do 4 monitors. I can have 4 monitors with full-size tabs and do whatever the heck I want. Then I save it, and it's good to go. Now, this is great because during the show, I also have, you know, 1 or 2 lighting techs, and they'll switch back and forth between that and something else. So my lighting tech, Monica, you know, she may have the windows arranged one way that she likes. When she switches with my other lighting tech, Derek just clicks shortcut 2 on the MIDI con, which will switch, you know, to the tab with his name, you know, with his layout that he likes and everything. So basically, you can have your own custom layout for each one of your technicians, each one of your shows. You know, for example, again, if you have Nova shows for school dances and then some for weddings, you know, because maybe the gobos and patterns that you call, you can make a layer that just shows your weddings, a layer that just shows your schools. You can have them call all. Again, if I go here, let's go back to my favorites, and I click on my wrestling tab. Okay, again, it gets rid of everything there, and then I just tell it, all right, do me a favor and show it back to my wrestling event that's coming up, the tab for that. And these are basically pre-made scenes that allow me to, you know, control it. There's also cycles, just basically to go over briefly that. You hit record, and you can record. It's kind of like a timeline program. You can tell it when to turn on a light program, when to turn it off, what settings, and all that. So that's pretty neat there. Scan library allows you to modify your lights. Palette is pretty neat. A palette basically allows you to grab a light and set the points for it. So for example, the my event bar, when I use that for weddings, I don't really want my event bar. Where is it? Oh, let's look for it. My reading is, there we go. Okay. My event bar, basically, you know, I can grab them all there in one shot or whatnot. But my event bar, I don't want it for, you know, I don't want the event bar hitting me or hitting behind the wall. I just want it hitting the crowd. So I can basically tell it, you know, okay, this is the down point. This point is for, you know, the highest it'll go, the most to the right, most to the left, etc. And then by modifying these points in a grid or live, you definitely want to do that live, it'll automatically modify all the shows as long as you told the shows to use that palette. So if you have shows where it's going around in circles and all that, instead of circling the entire area and hitting you, you can just have it circle the dance floor where the bride and groom are at. So you can set the limits of where you want the lights to go. It has a software, you know, you can load your MIDI software or your MIDI controller here as a software, so you can program it even if it's not in there. You can see how everything affects, you know, your 3D. Let me see if I can get it to do that. Hang on one sec. We're going to go to 3D. We're going to zoom out a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to go back to my master because my master controls everything. I can go here with my console, my digital MIDI con. And you can see that I can quickly just fade everything in one shot, or I can quickly just cut off my QWH5s by themselves live. Even if shows are running, I can dim individual lights by themselves, and the MIDI con is a blank slate. You tell it what to do. There's, you know, color wheels, really responsive color wheels. You have 16 pages. Whenever one of these pages change, these values change. So you basically 16 pages, 32 buttons each. Same here for the top, flash buttons. It's just absolutely incredible. Okay, how's this for a bonus? The last thing I forgot to mention were 2 individual things. Let's go back for just a second. I can actually... Oops, nah. I can actually go here and add the individual dimmers for speed, phasing, whatever for each scene I make. And that's really cool in case you don't have the MIDI con. I don't need that because I've got the MIDI con for it. But check this out, even more fun. You'll notice here a little tab that says follow spot, and here's a follow spot area. Now, of course, you may know that you can grab one moving head and you could follow somebody with it. But if you grab 2 moving heads, they're not going to follow perfectly. One may be here, one may be here, and they'll move in synchronization, but they're not always going to follow. For example, let's pretend the mouse is, you know, where you want it to move. You're not going to have 2 moving heads tracking that perfectly. It's not possible. Now it is. Follow spot is an area that you can basically, you follow the prompts and you follow the instructions to basically calibrate all of your spotlights or all your moving heads. So as you move your mouse from here, they all hit that exact same spot in perfect synchronization. Now this is still a beta. I haven't even had a chance to play with this yet, and from what I understand, it's very difficult to get it put together. But once you do, it works flawlessly. Again, that's just what I've been reading. But this is super exciting, and this is revolutionary. So that's the bonus. Yeah. Okay, so again, that's basically the software side. That's a tiny little small tour of what it has to offer. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys subscribe to the videos. If you are on Facebook, click like on Master School Dances. And if you are on YouTube, right up there, you're going to click on the little subscribe button. All right? If you have any questions, just leave a little comment down below here. Meanwhile, check out my super cool photo that my wife took. That's it.